The rain fell hard that night, cold and heavy, like it wanted to wash the world clean. The woman stood at the gate with one hand on her belly and the other holding a small, worn bag. She was pregnant, tired, and shaking. Her name did not matter anymore. In that moment, she felt like she had lost everything that once made her a person. The house behind the gate was large and bright. Warm lights shone through the windows. Laughter echoed inside. But none of that warmth was for her. Her mother-in-law stood near the door, arms crossed, eyes sharp. "Get out," the older woman said. Her voice was calm but cold. "You are no longer part of this family." The woman tried to speak. Her lips trembled. "Please, I have nowhere to go. I am carrying your grandchild." Her father-in-law laughed softly, without kindness. "That child is a mistake," he said, "and you are a burden." She turned to her husband. He stood behind them, silent. His eyes met hers for a second, then looked away. He said nothing. Not one word. That silence hurt more than the rain. The door slammed shut. The gate closed with a loud click. She was alone. The woman walked away slowly, each step heavy. Her shoes were thin. Water soaked her clothes. Her belly felt tight and fear pressed against her chest. She did not cry loudly. She cried the way broken people cry, quiet, with tears that fall without sound. She remembered a different time. A small flash of the past came to her mind. The same man had once held her hands and promised to protect her. He had smiled and said they would face life together. Those words now felt like lies. A sharp pain moved through her stomach. She stopped near the road and leaned against a wall, breathing hard. Cars passed by, splashing water. No one stopped. Then a black luxury car slowed down. For a moment, she felt hope. Maybe someone would help. The car window lowered just a little. She could not see the face inside. The car paused, then drove away. Hope left as fast as it came. The woman kept walking until her legs felt weak. She reached a quiet street with closed shops and dark corners. Near a trash area, she noticed something strange. Large black bag lying near the bins. It looked clean, not like trash. It was heavy, sitting alone as if someone had placed it there on purpose. She stared at it. Her heart began to beat faster. She looked around. The street was empty. The rain softened, falling slower now, like whispers. She told herself to keep walking. This was not her problem. She had enough fear already, but another pain hit her belly. She held it and bent slightly. Her baby moved. The feeling brought tears to her eyes. "I need help," she whispered. "I need something. Anything." She walked back to the bag. Her hands shook as she touched it. It was heavier than she expected. Much heavier. She tried to lift it and almost dropped it. Fear rushed through her. What if this was dangerous? What if someone was watching? She stood still, listening. Nothing. The street stayed quiet. Slowly, she picked up the bag. The weight pulled her arm down. She held it with both hands now. Her heart pounded so loud she felt it in her ears. She did not open it right away. She walked a few steps away, then stopped under a broken streetlight. The light flickered above her head. Rainwater dripped from her hair onto her face. She took a deep breath. With shaking fingers, she slowly pulled the zipper open just a little. What she saw made her freeze. Inside the bag were stacks of money. Thick bundles. More money than she had ever seen in her life. Her breath caught in her throat. Her eyes widened in shock. For a second, she thought she was dreaming. She closed the bag fast. Her hands trembled harder now. Fear filled her chest. "This is not mine," she whispered. "This is trouble," her mind raced. Who would leave this here? Was it stolen? Was someone coming back? Her heart told her to run, to leave the bag and disappear. But then she looked down at her belly again. She was pregnant, homeless, abandoned, sick with fear and cold. She had no money, no family, no place to sleep. The rain started again, stronger this time. She stood there between fear and need, between right and survival. The bag felt heavy in her hands, not just with weight, but with choice. Finally, she made a decision. She held the bag close and walked into the darkness. She did not know it yet. That single choice made on a rainy night was about to change her life forever. The woman walked fast. Even though her body begged her to stop, the heavy bag pulled her arms down, and every step hurt. Rain followed her like a shadow. Her clothes were wet, her hair stuck to her face, and her breath came out in short, shaky gasps. She did not look back. Her mind was loud with fear. What if someone is following me? What if this money belongs to criminals? What if I die tonight? She reached a small, old motel near the highway. The sign flickered in the dark. It was not a safe place, but it was the only place she could afford if she used the money. Her hands shook as she stood outside the door. For a long moment, she just stood there staring at the bag. Finally, she opened it again, just enough to take one bundle of cash. Her heart hurt as she did it. It felt wrong, but she was tired of being strong. Inside, the room smelled old. The bed was thin. The walls were stained. Still, it was warm. She locked the door and placed the bag under the bed, pushing it deep into the darkness. Only then did she sit down. Her legs gave up, and she slid onto the floor. She wrapped her arms around her belly and cried. Not loud, not broken. Just steady tears that would not stop. "I'm sorry," she whispered to her baby. "I don't know what I am doing." The night passed slowly. Every sound made her jump. Footsteps outside. A car engine. Voices in the distance. She barely slept. In the morning, pain woke her up. Her stomach hurt badly. Her back burned. She felt dizzy. Fear rushed through her again. She knew she needed a doctor. She had avoided hospitals before because she had no money. Now, she had money, but it was not really hers. She stood in front of the mirror. Her face looked pale. Her eyes were tired and red. She looked like someone the world had already forgotten. She went to a small clinic far from the city. She kept her head down. She paid in cash. The doctor looked at her with concern. "You are under a lot of stress," the doctor said gently, "and you need rest. Your baby is okay, but you must be careful." The words "your baby is okay" made her heart shake. Relief washed over her like warm light. On the way back to the motel, she stopped at a small food shop. She bought bread, fruit, and water. Simple things. Nothing more. She did not touch the rest of the money. Back in the room, she turned on the old TV. The news was on. Her heart stopped. Breaking news, the reporter said. A black bag containing $5 million has gone missing. The money belongs to a powerful business family. Police are investigating. Her hands went cold. $5 million. She sat down hard on the bed. Her ears rang. Her breathing became fast and shallow. "That's the bag," she whispered. "That's the bag I have," the reporter continued. "The family believes the money was lost during a private transfer last night." Private transfer. Powerful family. Her mind raced. Her chest felt tight. She felt like the walls were closing in. She turned off the TV. For hours, she sat in silence. She did not eat. She did not move. She only listened to the sounds outside, waiting for police sirens. Waiting for a knock on the door. Nothing happened. As evening came, she made a decision. She could not keep this money. It was too dangerous. She would return it somehow. She would leave it near a police station or call anonymously. She pulled the bag out from under the bed. At that moment, her phone buzzed. She froze. No one ever called her. Slowly, she looked at the screen. Unknown number. Her heart pounded so hard it hurt. She did not answer. The phone buzzed again, then stopped. Minutes passed. Then a soft knock came at the door. Her blood turned cold. She stood up slowly, her legs weak. She did not speak. She did not breathe. Another knock. "Please," a man's voice said calmly from outside. "I just want to talk." Her eyes filled with tears. She backed away from the door. "How do you know I'm here?" she whispered to herself. The man spoke again, gentle but firm. "I know you picked up the bag," he said, "and I know you are pregnant." Her world stopped. She looked down at her belly, then at the door. Fear wrapped around her like chains. She did not open the door. She waited. The man sighed. "You don't understand yet," he said, "but you will." Footsteps moved away. She collapsed onto the bed, shaking. Outside, the motel lights flickered. Inside, the woman held her belly and cried again, not from pain, but from the deep fear that told her one truth. The bag had found her, and now the danger had too. The woman did not sleep that night. Every small sound felt loud. Every shadow looked dangerous. Her eyes stayed open, fixed on the door. The man's calm voice echoed again and again in her mind. "I know you picked up the bag, and I know you are pregnant." How could he know? Morning came slowly. Gray light slipped through the thin curtains. The motel looked even sadder in daylight. She sat on the edge of the bed, holding her belly, trying to think clearly. She knew one thing for sure. Running would not save her around noon. There was another knock on the door. This time, it was softer, careful, not rushed. She stood up, her heart beating hard. She walked close to the door, but did not open it. "Who is it?" she asked quietly. "It's me," the same man replied. "I told you yesterday. I don't want to hurt you." She stayed silent. "I'll leave if you want," he continued. "But there are things you need to know. Things that already involve you." Her fingers tightened around the door handle. Fear fought with curiosity. Slowly, she unlocked the door and opened it just a little. The man stood a few steps back. He was well-dressed, calm, and not holding anything. His face showed no anger. "My name is Daniel," he said. "I work for your husband's family." Her chest tightened at the words, "your husband." She opened the door fully now. "Why are you here?" she asked. "Why not the police?" Daniel took a slow breath. "Because the money is not clean," he said. "And because your husband's family does not want attention?" She stepped back, letting him inside. Daniel looked around the room, then sat on the old chair. "The $5 million came from illegal deals," he said. "Hidden accounts, bribes, things that could destroy them." Her mind felt dizzy. "And me?" she asked. "Why involve me?" Daniel's eyes softened. "Because your pregnancy became a problem," he said. "A big one." Her hands began to shake. "What do you mean?" "The family believes the baby would create legal trouble," he said. "Inheritance, questions, records. They wanted you gone quietly." Her breath caught. "They planned to send you away," Daniel continued, "with nothing. No support, no proof." Tears filled her eyes. "So, they threw me out on purpose," he said. "And the bag was dropped by mistake that same night. A careless driver. Wrong place, wrong time." Silence filled the room. Her heart broke again, but this time, something else rose with the penumbra. "They wanted me to disappear," she said slowly. "But instead, I found their secret." Daniel nodded. "Yes," he leaned forward. "I came to offer you a deal. Return the bag. Walk away. We will make sure you live quietly. Somewhere far?" She looked at him. "And my baby?" He hesitated. "You will survive. That is all I can promise." Her eyes hardened. "No," she said. Daniel blinked. "No, they took everything from me," she said. "My home, my marriage, my safety. And now you want me to give back the only thing that can protect my child?" Daniel stood up. "You don't understand how powerful they are." She looked straight at him. "You don't understand how strong a mother can be." Daniel sighed. "Then I must warn you. If you keep the money, they will come harder." She took out her phone and pressed play. A recorded voice filled the room, Daniel's own voice from earlier. Explaining everything. The illegal money. The plan. The family's fear of the baby. Daniel froze. "You recorded me?" he asked. "Yes," she replied calmly. "I learned to be careful." Daniel slowly sat back down. "You are braver than they thought," I was weak when they threw me out, she said. Not anymore. That same day, she left the motel. She went to a lawyer, one known for taking on powerful people. She showed him the recording. The lawyer listened carefully. This changes everything, he said. She also contacted a journalist. Quietly, carefully. Days passed. News broke slowly at first. Questions were asked. Whispers turned into reports. Authorities began to look deeper. Her husband's family panicked. Then one morning, she saw it on the news. Business leaders under investigation for financial crimes. Her hands shook not from fear this time, but from relief. She sat by the window, sunlight warming her face. For the first time since that rainy night, she felt something close to peace, but deep inside, she knew this was not the end. There was still one truth no one had spoken out loud yet. The biggest shock was still coming, and it would change everything. The courtroom was quiet, but the air felt heavy. The woman sat in the front row, her hands resting gently on her belly. She wore a simple dress. No jewelry, no fear in her eyes. Only calm strength. Many people stared at her, whispering softly. Some recognized her from the news. Others only saw a pregnant woman who had caused a storm. Across the room, her husband's family sat stiff and pale. The same people who once threw her out now avoided her eyes. The judge entered. Everyone stood. The case began. The lawyer spoke clearly. He explained the illegal money, the secret accounts, the recordings, and the plan to erase her life quietly. Evidence appeared one by one. Documents, bank records, audio files. The room changed with every truth. Her husband lowered his head. His hands shook. For the first time, he looked small. Then the judge asked a simple question. Who is the rightful owner of the $5 million? The courtroom went silent. The lawyer stood again. Your Honor, he said, this money was hidden, illegal, and unreported. But there is something more. He paused and looked at the woman. The baby she is carrying is legally connected to this money. Murmurs filled the room. The judge raised an eyebrow. Explain. The lawyer took a breath. The funds were placed under a family trust years ago. According to the trust rules, the first direct child born after a certain date becomes the legal heir. The woman's heart skipped. The lawyer continued, this child meets every legal condition. Shock spread through the courtroom. Her mother-in-law stood up suddenly. That's a lie, she shouted. The judge struck the table. Sit down. Her father-in-law's face turned gray. His power, his pride, his control, everything slipped away in seconds. The judge looked at the woman. Is this child your husband's? She stood slowly. Her voice was steady. Yes, she said. And they knew it. The truth landed hard. That was the final piece. The reason they threw her out, the reason they wanted her gone, the reason the baby was called a mistake, they were afraid. The judge spoke firmly. This court finds the defendants guilty of financial crimes, abuse, and conspiracy. The sound of handcuffs echoed in the room. Her husband broke down. Tears fell from his eyes. I'm sorry, he whispered, as officers led his parents away. I was weak. She looked at him, not with anger, but with distance. You chose silence, she said softly, and silence destroyed us. She turned away. Outside the courtroom, cameras flashed. Reporters shouted questions. She did not stop. She walked forward, one hand on her belly, sunlight touching her face. Weeks passed. The money was placed in a legal account under the child's name. Not for luxury. Not for revenge. For safety? For a future. The woman moved into a small, peaceful home. Nothing fancy. Just warm. Just safe. She started a foundation for abandoned women like her. Women who were pushed out when they needed love the most. Letters came every day. You gave me hope. Your story saved me. I'm not alone anymore. One quiet afternoon, she stood in the garden of her new home. The air was calm. Birds sang softly. Her child played nearby, laughing, healthy, alive. Her phone buzzed. A message appeared. Unknown number. She stared at it for a moment, then deleted it without reading. Some doors did not need to be opened again. Years later, she walked down a familiar street. The same street where the rain once soaked her clothes, where fear once ruled her heart. The big house stood silent now. Empty. Cold. No lights inside. Her child looked up at her. "Mom," the child asked, "why did you stop?" She smiled gently. "This is where I learned something important," she said. "What?" the child asked. She looked at the house one last time, then down at her child. "The day they threw me out," she said, "was the day I found my strength." They walked away together. The past stayed behind. And the woman once abandoned, once broken, walked forward, not as a victim, but as the owner of her life, her truth, and her future.